Hey y'all, how you doing? It's your girl Just Sandra and welcome to Imagine Me TV. Y'all, I'm so excited, y'all, just about this relaunch and about what we are doing right here on Imagine Me TV. The month of August, we've decided to do WTF, What the Faith. Yeah, I know you thought it was something else, but we got you on that one. But it's WTF, it's What the Faith. On these episodes, we're going to be talking about faith. We're going to be talking about our journey with faith. We have real people, your cousins, your sister, your aunties, you know what I'm saying? Your besties. We are talking about real life stories about faith. And on tonight, y'all, I am super duper excited about my two guests. Y'all, listen. I'm telling you, these two are super special to me because not only are we first cousins, but we are also like sisters. We grew up together as children, you know what I'm saying? We are adults, we talk all the time. But y'all, listen, they have a powerful testimony. But before we get into that, I want you to go and like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Imagine Me TV at Just Saying 330. And listen, I want you to make sure you let everybody know that we will be on in a few moments with these powerful women, y'all. I mean, listen, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. So I want you to go get your blanket, go get your favorite beverage, go sit back on your chair, get your pen, your notepad, and y'all, let's be ready and be mindful of the nuggets that are going to be dropped on tonight. Let's write those things down because they're going to help us get through and navigate through life through our faith, y'all. So I'm excited to introduce to you and to present to some others my cousins, my sister cousins. Let me just say that, y'all. Derica Coleman and Charlene Coleman. Listen, let me go ahead on and add them to the stage real quick. Let me go ahead and add them right now. Yes. Hey y'all.
Hi,
How y'all doing?
doing
Pleasure.
good.
Great.
Good. Y'all doing great?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh wow. Y'all excited?
Excited.
Okay,
Thank
me
you for
too.
having us.
Absolutely. Y'all want to do this first. I want to introduce to you guys Charlene Coleman. She is a licensed insurance agent. She is a mother of three boys. Yep, you heard what I said. Mother of three boys, right? And she has three beautiful grandchildren. And
Yes.
Yes.
hey, all right. And they are doing well, y'all. Listen,
Yes.
listen, y'all, they about 7 foot giants, to be honest. 7 foot giants. But they are such humble and amazing kids.
Yes.
Derica Coleman, listen, this is another one of my cousins. She has one child, and through that
Yes.
child, she has one grandson. Not only does she have that, but she is also a licensed cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist.
Yes,
Yes.
and she listen, y'all.
Yes.
She braids some good hair. You hear what I say?
Yes.
Braid a little bit tight, but she braids
Yes.
some good hair. And you need to go check her out, y'all, with Braids by Derica.
Yes.
I
Designs by
probably said it
Derica.
wrong.
Designs
Yes.
by Derica.
I'm sorry, y'all. I got it wrong. It's Designs by Derica. And so you guys need to check them out. Check out Charlene Coleman. She's a licensed insurance agent. If you need some insurance, you know what it's all about, right? So you want to make sure you check her out. And then also check out Derica with Designs by Derica. She is in the Lexington area. Charlene is in the North Augusta area. So y'all,
Yes.
all right, we ain't gonna waste no more time, right? So we're gonna jump right to it. First of
Yes.
Okay.
all, I listen, y'all. This episode right now is about faith and grief, right?
Yes.
So, without going into all of it, unless you feel feel the need to, let's talk about it. Charlene, let's talk about how did you come into knowing like faith? Like, what does faith mean to you?
Faith for me holds my morals. It's the upbringing that my grandmother and my grandfather gave me. And the very thing that my grandmother taught us, because we wasn't raised by our mother, but we loved our mother. So the very first thing our grandmother taught us was love. The love that she took me, my siblings, she took my cousins, and then she took other cousins in along the way. But our grandmother taught us to love our mother, pray for our mother, even through. So my faith derives from, she told us hard work will get you anything that you want. Work hard, treat people good, be mindful of the way that you treat people. This is my grandmother. My grandmother loved to cook. I have that right now. I love to cook for my family. I love to put the love in it. So my faith stems from the love that my grandmother showed me, showing that I can believe in her, and her belief was in God. So because her belief was in God, I have that belief. I have that trust because I seen my grandmother go through things and come out of things because she called on the name of God. She called on the name of Jesus. So we know this. That's where my faith stems from, my background being raised by my grandmother, the love that she gave us. Now, look, we didn't have everything that we wanted, but I had everything I
we needed.
needed in that house. Do you hear me? Everything we needed. And that's the background. That's that foundation. That's where it stemmed from.
That's amazing. I love that. Just even reminiscing, because I just want to acknowledge that on August 6th was our grandmother's, would have been our grandmother's 93rd birthday.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And all of us have like amazing stories of grandmama. You know, I remember there were times when she would just read a Bible, you know, with a third or fourth grade education every single day, and how she would like outline the Bible or whatnot. I find myself doing that, you know what I'm saying?
I do that too.
Even when I read or whatnot. But I also remember there were times when, and I know when I was going through, grandmama always had the right things to say at the right time. You know what I'm saying? And I know one day coming in and dealing with my own stuff, and grandmama just threw her hands up, and I think it might have been my birthday, and I remember her singing happy birthday to me, and I remember I bawled like a baby because she didn't even realize how much just that really truly meant.
Right.
So Absolutely. I do want to ask you the same question. Where outside of grandmama, where also did your faith stem from? And I know your roots is gonna be grandma, so you can
roots definitely gonna be grandma. Roots definitely gonna be grandma. But in times where I'm faced with hard times over the years, I just remember what she said. But then I had to find it on my own.
Yeah.
I had to find out on my own. Like, even though I was raised to have faith in God, but that only goes so far.
Right.
Yes.
So I had to find out on my own throughout life. Whereas I have to depend on God for myself. My grandmother instilled that in me, but I had to have faith in God for myself.
Absolutely.
So it was all throughout the circumstances I've been through, situations I've been in, obstacles I've faced. Bills might have been due, but you might not had the money, you know. So it came back to that faith in God. God gonna work it out for you.
Absolutely.
So,
and I love that, because it, you know, what you guys are saying, that your strong foundation in faith was rooted in what was taught by grandma.
Right.
And that's amazing, because most people don't have that foundation. You know, most people can't say that they were raised in that type of environment. And one of the things you guys said was that we may not have had it all, but we had everything we needed.
Everything.
And I'm telling you, like, sometimes you grow up not realizing the blessings that was right before you, right? Because you looking at everything, everybody else, or you comparing to what others have versus to what, you know, you might possess or whatnot. But that foundation, no matter, wealth cannot, you know, you can have everything in the world, right?
Yes.
But that foundation of faith, listen, will carry you throughout your entire life. And I thank God, because I believe that's a legacy that grandma left with her grandchildren. Not just her grandchildren, but her children. But I like to say grandma loved her grandchildren. You know,
she loved her grandchildren.
We were her favorite,
and I was her favorite.
I was her favorite too. So she
Listen,
had
I
all
don't
these
know
favorites.
we all was her favorite, but I declare them great grands look
Absolutely.
like they might have just took it by storm.
Look, they was the
Definitely.
favorites too. Everybody
They were
was
the
the
favorites.
favorite.
Yes, but she was so consistent in making sure that we went to church. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? She made sure that we knew about God, and that's the one thing that I do love about that. Just about that foundation. So I do want to
Yes.
go in, and we're gonna navigate into grief, right?
Yes.
Let me ask this question. So, Darika, you can ask this. Can you tell me a time when you experienced like a deep loss or grief?
Um, it's been several times. But the deepest I would have to say, um, the deepest would be my sister, grieving my sister, because when I found out, when I got the phone call about my sister, I felt I was that close from I could see the other side of losing it.
Mm,
So that would be the deepest, even though I had losses in the past, but
mm,
that was the closest, because I guess because it was just another death, like another death, and then it's, that close, another
mm,
sibling that
mm,
close. So
mm.
I
So
saw,
when go ahead, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, I saw the, it was this close to like want to just give up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
So when you said like you was about to lose it, can you like go into a little bit more detail about what those signs look like or what it felt like?
well, it felt like just give up. It felt like I felt, I remember it being cold. It was cold that morning, and I just went outside with just a t-shirt and shorts on, and socks, and I wasn't even cold. It was real cold outside, but I wasn't even cold. I sat outside for a few minutes, and then I just felt like real down, just crying, and just feeling like lost and sad, and just give up. What's the use of doing anything if you're gonna lose your family, keep losing your family.
That's good. That's good. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Charlene, can you relay a time when you experienced like a deep loss? And I know you guys are sisters. In case you guys don't know, they are sisters. So they've all experienced death, right? They've all experienced loss, but they
Mm-hmm.
grieved differently.
Differently.
And I want
Hmm.
to say that nugget, just because you may experience the same type of
Mm-hmm.
loss or
Loss.
death in your
Right.
life, the grieving process for each person is completely different. So
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
have Darika's experience when she was losing, when she lost, well, she lost some before, but hers, the final straw for her was her sister. So
Hmm.
Charlene, can you go into a time when you experienced deep loss or grief?
So the deep loss for me began at grandma.
Mm,
And the reason why is because I felt like my world was over.
Yeah,
It
same.
wasn't just that, it was because she was gone. I found out I was pregnant at 30. So I'm maneuvering a different time in my life without my grandmother.
wow, that's good.
You all never knew because I never told you, but I used to cry myself to sleep at night. I missed my grandma so bad. I cried, I hurt, I longed for a grandma during this time, mainly because she
Mm-hmm.
told me I was going to be pregnant. She told me I was going to have another baby. She wasn't here. I'm pregnant. Find out I'm pregnant by going for strep throat. First of all, how traumatizing is that? And then to go through this pregnancy and she's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I felt my world was turned upside down, but I was able to overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have,
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I thank God for the visitation that I had from my grandmother to let me know that although she's not here physically, she's
Mm-hmm.
still here with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot for me to process that. And that was the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the deepest, most significant part
Mm-hmm.
of death. And from each one from after that, to me,
Definitely.
they got, yeah, they were worse than the first one. But I just gave you the first significant
Yeah.
one because
Right.
it was the levels, they went up Out for
Mhm.
Derek, it went up for April.
Right.
Mhm.
So the magnitude was unimaginable after
Mhm.
grandmother. So I gave you grandma first.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, what was the most challenging part, Charlene, of your grieving process?
For just period.
This period, either one of your deaths. And let me start out with this. So you guys have experienced the death of grandma, which
Right.
she raised you guys. She was like your mom. And then you experience the
Four
death of
years
your
after that.
mother, your
Yes.
biological mom.
Tragically.
A tragic death of your mom. And then years later, you experience the tragic death of your brother Derek, the murder. I really don't like to say that, but it is what it is.
It is.
And then, like maybe 4 months after that, then you guys experience the death of your
Sister.
sister April.
Right.
Right.
So through each one of those deaths, I know that it was a difficult process,
Right.
and you can just choose one of them, or all of them if you would like to. But I want to know what was the most challenging part when you were grieving. Like, what was the most challenging part of that process?
I can't just name just one because after grandmother, then 4 years, you got mom,
Mm-hmm.
who we got no justice for.
Mm-hmm.
So for that to go through that process and feel the closure, it was very, very hard for the closure on
Same.
that because of no justice.
Same.
And then to experience our brother. So all of those are significant in their self. All of
Mm-hmm.
those are traumatic. So to me, I never was angry with God because I didn't attribute
Okay.
those deaths to God. I didn't attribute
Mhm.
those to God. I attributed it to the people that did that.
Mhm.
God is a loving God. So I did not attribute these transitionings, the passings, the murders that had happened to our mom and to our sister and our brother. I did not attribute that to God.
Mm-hmm.
So it really was a process for me. It was very, very hard. I kept playing it back over in my mind
Mhm.
for my mom. I kept playing it back over in my mind for Derek. So
Mhm.
for my mom, I kept seeing her with the hole in her temple,
Mm-hmm.
her shoulder broken, her
Mm-hmm.
hip out of the socket. So those things were very traumatic to see and
Mm-hmm.
know that this person did this to our mother. And
Mm-hmm.
then for Derek, I kept being tormented with him backing up from the guy with his hands out at him. And we came to find out he was shot 7 times. You see what I'm saying? And then for our sister, who the people, they dropped her off at her apartment where she lived beside the hospital, where they
Mm-hmm.
could have dropped her off at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of challenges to those. They
Mm-hmm.
were different, and the significance in the obstacles of being how hard it was,
Mm-hmm.
the levels were different, but it
Mm-hmm.
was still, I'm going to say it was excruciating in each
Mhm.
one of those areas for
Okay.
me.
Okay. And so Derica, I'm gonna let you piggyback off of that, because she used the words excruciating.
Mhm.
She used the words difficult. Each
Mhm.
each death was significant in itself. The levels, I heard her say the word levels. So
Mhm.
the levels of trauma, you know, that they've experienced, but also the level of trauma that you guys, your heart experience, your
Mhm.
soul experience, going through this, like it's almost like, man, we can't catch a break,
Mhm.
like
Yep,
why all this
definitely.
tragedy, like following, my family? Why is it that
Mhm.
my
Right.
family? Let me say this, and I don't know why I'm saying this, so I'm gonna be careful, but did you feel like at one point, Rika, that it's like we're being targeted? Like, what did we do to this level of tragedy to come upon us? And what I'm saying is Aunt Orme and her children, her seed.
No, I never felt like that. But it was like my sister said, it was excruciating. Same thing, getting a phone call about my mom. It was I never cried or cry like that before in my life.
Mhm.
I never cried or cry like that. That was a terrible cry. It was a like your your soul leaving.
Mhm.
You could feel it's just what it felt like that night. But to not get justice, that was another thing, and you got to move through not getting justice.
Mhm.
But and that's only justice here. I know that one day justice is coming.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I know that, so that's what keep me going,
Mhm.
because I do know justice is coming.
Mhm.
May not be now, may not be tomorrow, but it's coming.
Mhm.
And yep,
I agree with her on that. You reap what you
yep,
sow.
yep,
Right.
most
That's the
definitely.
truest word. You reap what you sow.
Yeah, it's
You go get
coming.
it back. Hmm.
So it may seem, it seemed like he, the guy that did it, it seemed like he got away with it, but he didn't get away with it.
Mhm.
He
No.
can't live with himself.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I know that he
Mhm.
can't live with himself for what he did.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't think it's a target on me and my family, my sisters. I don't think that. I
Mhm.
don't I don't think that's what it is. I just think things happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the battle, you can't choose your battle
Mhm.
in life. You can't choose it. It's just coming. You got to either get through it
Mhm.
or you give up.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, one
So
thing I can say by watching you guys go through each one of them, I do have to say, and I was just sitting here looking at you guys, and I'm like, Lord, they really are strong, you know. And sometimes being strong can get misinterpreted or
Yes.
mishandled. You
I
know what I'm
know.
saying? Because sometimes when you are strong, you got to
Hmm.
think about the faith. You got to think about that foundation of faith, right?
Definitely.
And when you are strong, you do rely on your faith, right? But you just naturally strong women.
Yep.
Period. You're going to keep moving, you're going to keep pushing, you're going to
Yep.
keep going, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys know, hey, I got to do what I got to do, right? And so
Yep.
I at some point, when, and it's almost like people put on an invisible superhero cape
Hmm.
and won't allow you to have those moments where you can be
Right.
a human being. Can I just be a
Right.
human being today? You
Be
know what I'm saying?
vulnerable. You
Can
can't.
I just be
It's
vulnerable?
Vulnerable.
vulnerable.
Exactly. And let's talk about that. So, in grieving, was it a difficult process to be vulnerable, not just with yourself, with God, and with those around you? Because as strong people, you want, when you be when we're vulnerable, we have to make sure it's a safe space. You know what I'm saying? You cannot give your vulnerability to
Right.
immature people because
Right.
they will
Right.
mishandle it, they will misuse it, right? And later on, they'll try to use that against you. But I want to ask, like, was there a time where you guys um felt like, okay, I could be vulnerable in this situation, or there was a time where I didn't feel like I could, and how did you navigate through that? Like, what did vulnerability look like for y'all, and how did you navigate through that, Charlene?
My vulnerability led me to isolation. My
Mhm.
isolation ended up causing me to be sick. I
Mhm.
never allowed myself to be vulnerable.
Wow.
That's on me. I
Wow.
never allowed myself to be vulnerable.
Yep.
I felt like I didn't have time. I had to move on, had to push on,
Right.
had to press on.
Ooh.
But at some point, you can only go so far in
Mhm.
that process. You have to come to grips with everything. And when it
Mhm.
came to grips for me, when it when it came to the
Mhm.
end of that wall,
Hmm.
Mm.
I was stopped.
Mhm.
My body stopped me. I was sick
Wow.
for
Right.
months, for 6 months. Couldn't move. I was sick for my birthday. Couldn't even go get my nails and toes done. That's the only thing I like every year, spa. Couldn't even do it. I was sick. So I
Mm.
don't ever want to experience that. I want to allow myself to be
In what year,
vulnerable.
sister? And tell them in what year that was. Around when? What's the time was that?
So for me, this was last year,
Last year.
2024.
Right.
I was sick,
Right.
just sick. as a dog, couldn't move out the bed, couldn't celebrate, couldn't call on nobody, just stayed sick. And I was sick through May 2025. So
Wow.
you can keep pressing, you can keep going, but God's gonna let you run to the ends of yourself. You have to come to terms with it. You
Yes.
have to.
Yes.
You either sit down or your body is gonna sit you
Sit you
down. And my
down.
body set me down. That's what it did. I
Wow.
wasn't able to do anything. Yeah,
Wow.
work, take a shower, go to bed. Work, take a shower, go to bed. That's it. Try to fight off the sickness, but nothing was helping.
Wow. And
Yeah.
I think even in that, that is again, that is one of the most detrimentalist things, if that's a word, that we
Yes,
could
it
do
is.
to ourselves, being strong when you feel like
Yes.
you just got to keep going and you just got to keep going, not because you just want to, it's just because sometimes you don't find that space. What you've been to others, you
Yeah.
don't always find that same identical space
Right.
to pretty much reciprocate what you give out, right? So you give out so much more, but it's like when you give out but you can't pour. I'll say that. Or is the other way around? People pour into you but you can't pour out. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of hard to look. Most of the time you're looking for it to be reciprocated, and it's really not.
It's
You
not.
know what I'm saying? And I know I heard you say like my body shut down, my body responded,
Mm-hmm.
and
It responded.
sometimes,
Yeah.
it's a soul. My soul hurts,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a wound in my soul that cannot right now be fixed, and I don't know what to do with it. It's just like people say when you walk around in unforgiveness, it's like drinking
Right.
poison, thinking that it's gonna hurt somebody else. And
And it's
Right.
not. It's
sometimes
gonna hurt you.
it's gonna
Yeah.
hurt you. And sometimes,
Absolutely.
even with grieve, whatever the situation is, whatever the loss is in your life, sometimes when you're trying to move, and I'm gonna say even in Christian, our faith, we've been taught keep it moving. We're gonna keep going. Go whoop whoop whoop. We're gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even Jesus took some time.
Even
Even
Jesus.
Jesus took some time to regather
That's
himself.
right.
Right. Even
Even
God
when
rested on the
Jesus
seventh day.
Yes. Even when Jesus
Yeah.
experienced the death of Lazarus, he
Yes.
showed that emotion. He was
Mm.
allowed to show that
Right.
emotion, and I think sometimes people think that when we show emotions, whether it's I'm angry or I'm mad or I'm crying, people
Mm-hmm.
try to put a time frame on how long you grieve. And Charlene, these deaths happen like, oh my God, like from what grandmama was like 2000 and what one
2004,
4,
2004,
March
and
8th,
then your mom was
2004,
2008,
August
8.
22nd,
2008.
2008.
Then
Yes.
Derek's was 2022,
November 1st.
2023.
2023, and then oh 20 he was 2022,
No,
and then
2022. April
yeah,
was
2022.
and April
2023.
was, yep, April was
2023.
2023. So
March.
imagine, having that type of
Right.
trauma, that sudden loss experience, not like they just, well, we know grandma, she just passed away, but having people taken away from you. That's a
Right.
different type of death. Not like they just went to
Definitely.
sleep. That, hey, I'm
Right.
ready to
Mm-hmm.
go, Lord. It was like life taken away from you, which no man has the responsibility to take anyone's life. That's God's job,
Right.
That's
you know.
right.
But just going through that and having to grieve that process,
Mm-hmm.
um, and going through it, and your grieving process. I mean, I'm thinking about, man, that was almost like oh, Charlene, that was almost like, I mean, grandmama next year be like 20 years since she's passed away. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's
Exactly.
like umpteen years that you've gone through a grieving process. You, Derica, y'all going through a grieving process, and again, that goes back to say you can never put a time frame on the
No.
process because it will hit you at different moments.
Right.
I remember when I was married, and at the time my husband and I was living in the house that grandma lived in, and I was really going through, and there were times where I wished I would cry like a baby and say, these, I wish you was here, or I would go to her gravesite and literally be like, grandma, you know what I'm saying? And I know most
Right.
people don't do that, but it's not like you're talking to the person, but you're just getting out that emotions as though as if that person was there. So I do
Right.
want to move to the next question. Um and I'll get us to Derica. Did you ever question your faith during this time, and what did that look like?
No, I never questioned my faith. Even though I've just even though I've, got maybe been in bad places or felt down, never questioned my faith. Just went through the
Mhm.
emotion. Went
Mm-hmm.
through the emotion of being, sad, being down, but not questioning my faith because put my trust in God. I know, you know, that's where all my help
Mm-hmm.
come from God. So I never questioned it.
That's good.
Never questioned my faith.
That's good.
It's been tested,
Mm-hmm.
definitely been tested, but I can't lose my faith in God.
Oh, that's so good. I love that because again, most people, I don't, I'm not gonna say. I feel like I'm a strong person.
Right,
And I'm not gonna say that if I had to experience that, I'm not gonna say that I couldn't
right,
stand. But one thing I will say is that if I ever had to say anybody was an example for me, I would definitely have to say that you guys were, and still are, an example of what faith and grief looks like. You know what I'm
right.
saying? What faith and loss looks like. So Charlene, have you ever can you say that you've either lost your faith or you stay grounded, in your with your faith even during this process, your process?
My faith was, it wasn't even tested for me dealing with the transitioning, of our loved ones. But I'm gonna tell you, I did have a question with God about that marriage I had for all those years. Now I'm gonna tell you, that was a
Mm.
test for me. It came very, very close. So I can tell you, I did question God once with that because y'all know I don't have to tell you. Yes, I was. Yes, Lord. Like, Lord, you got to come
So
down here.
so we need a
So,
session on marriages now.
Yes, yes.
honey,
Marriage and divorce. The afterlife.
marriage and divorce. There you go. Marriage and happily
Even though I'm
divorced.
not divorced yet, but I don't know.
Oh, you
Yeah,
happily divorced. Yeah,
yeah.
it's coming.
But
Snip, snip.
but even in that's a process as well, going
Right,
through even divorces. There is a type of loss that you experience.
Right,
And
right.
there
right.
is a grieving process that you also go. So yeah, one day we'll have to do that. We'll have to
We'll
talk about
have to
that.
do that. I think that would be very
Yeah,
interesting. But
definitely.
no, I never questioned God about the
Right,
grieving process that we've been
right,
through. My faith was always in the Lord, brought me through too much. And again, that
Yeah.
goes back to the foundation. So
Mm-hmm.
prophetess, with it being that grandma taught us that,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to step out and try God for ourselves.
mm-hmm,
Yes.
mm-hmm.
So once we tried God and knew that you're the God of our grandmother, you
Mm-hmm.
did it for grandma. You have now done it for us.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that's it's unshakable from
And
there.
I love what you say. It's like even though we had the foundation, mine was grandma and mine was my mom. That
Right.
Right.
foundation of faith, that foundation of knowing
Mm-hmm.
God for yourself, right?
Mhm.
But like you said, there came a time where we had to be tested ourselves, and we had
Exactly.
to
Definitely.
know God for ourselves. And I know there were
Right.
times like, Lord, being younger, like I know you as my mama's God, I know you as
Right.
grandma's God, but I
Right.
need to know you as my father,
It's
my God.
mine. Yes.
And it caused me to
Yep.
go into a place where I had to
Uh,
search him out for
yes.
myself so that I can have my own testimony. And I know
Right.
that that's what we are instilling into our children. We all
Absolutely.
got adult kids and we got grandchildren or whatnot, but again, it's that legacy that we're
Yes.
passing on. Like God told Abraham, teach them this, teach them that. Pass that
Mhm.
legacy on of who God is, who the Father
Yes.
is, what He's told you to do, so that when they grow up, that's what the Bible says, train them up in the way they should go.
Train them
And
up.
when they get old, they will not depart from it. And it
Depart.
doesn't matter whether you meet God early in life or you meet Him later in life. At some
Right.
point, you're gonna have
Meet
to
him.
come in contact with the
With
Yes.
him
God of the
yourself. You gonna have to get
Absolutely.
on your knees for
for
yourself.
Yes.
yourself.
Grandma got on her knees
Yes.
for us, but we have to learn to get on our knees for ourselves.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We can get our aunt to pray
Absolutely.
for us. We can get the deacons at the church to gather around and pray for
Right.
us. The mothers at the church. You can get everybody else around to pray for you. But
Mhm.
one thing you got to do, you got to get on your knees yourself and pray
Yes,
for yourself. Well, on your
Absolutely.
knees, in your car, at your
wherever.
job, in the
Yes.
bathroom, where you better
Yes.
learn how to pray for
Yeah,
yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Learn how to
telling
pray
you.
for yourself.
Yes, I think that because it builds up your faith even the more, and
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
it makes you stronger. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that whenever a situation or something present itself, you
You
can
can go to
truly see the.
God.
Listen, you already know
Yes.
the way. You already know He's the truth and the life. So you already know
Absolutely.
I can just go there. So y'all are not like me, right? Y'all know I'm the dramatic cousin. Y'all know that's me. And I feel like some of my children are just as dramatic, especially, my baby girl. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I feel like if I went, and of course, let me say this. I went through what you guys went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the significance of the relationship was different. But I went
Right.
through. You know what I'm saying? I went through at the same time you guys did. And I do remember, now I know with grandma I was no good. I was just not no good or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't or whatever. And I think I believe I experienced like anger. I experienced like resentment. I experienced like, what we gonna do? Where we
To
gonna go
God,
on
or
Sunday?
to just you just who
Just the
you
feelings.
just the feeling of resentment.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a feeling of resentment, and I believe I actually walked out some reason. I really do believe I walked out some and walked in some,
Okay.
because I felt like, during that it was just so much, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Emotional resentment, I'll say
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
because I felt like during that time, I felt like we got to know a different side. She
Mm-hmm.
a great grandmother,
Right.
but I believe that over the course, I'm gonna say for me now. I can't say for you guys, but I
Mm-hmm.
know from the moment that she was sick, she had a surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and just watching her transition, and her health decline, but watching
Right.
her become someone totally different towards the end of her life, like, I, everybody have good, bad, and ugly, but I'm telling you, like, it's almost like if that was a bad side of her, I can't remember, because all I
Not in
remember,
the latter part.
yes,
Yeah.
because I watched her transform. I
Mm-hmm.
really
She
did watch
did.
grandma
She really
Hmm.
did.
transform and
Yeah.
really truly walk out faith.
Yeah.
If there was a time where she felt fearful, she didn't say it. I just remember grandma
I
kept saying,
didn't see it.
y'all better pay attention. Y'all better spend some time with me, because I ain't gonna be with y'all long. You know what I'm saying? And so hearing
Yeah.
her say that, it's almost like,
Mm-hmm.
man, grandma going somewhere with that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be here forever, But I believe that God allowed her to see, what I'm saying, that hey, I'm really because she kept saying, I'm sicker than y'all think I am. And I think we were
Mm-hmm.
looking at the outside, but she
Right.
was like deep on the inside. She knew her body. She knew that there was something happening, but still yet, I don't think there was a time where I saw her break down. I don't remember seeing her fall
Mm-mm.
apart. I still watched her
Nope.
still be the glue that
Mm-hmm.
held the family together,
Together. Yep.
even while she was transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I remember, her hearing the voice of one of her sons that she hadn't heard from in God knows when,
Yeah.
and just seeing her face lit up.
How she
You
lit
know what
up.
I'm saying? And I
Hmm.
believe during that time, like watching her make peace. And I believe for me, that's what kept my faith, because I watched grandma make peace with so many things, so many
Yeah.
people, places, and things in her life, so that when God called her home, she literally was
Right.
ready to go.
She
You know what
was
I'm saying?
ready.
And I think
Mhm.
that's what helped me. Even the transition of your mom or whatnot. And I think, even going through all the whatever, I don't think I cried until we got ready to walk in the funeral. And the tears just went to, I don't know, my eyeballs just started leaking all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? You would have thought I was one of y'all. Y'all was so good, but I was just like,
I
oh
wasn't
my
good.
God.
I wasn't good either. I don't know
But
what
it
you.
was like,
My
I'm
legs
watching
did
y'all.
not want to work. I was
I
in the
was not
front.
good.
My
I
legs did
remember,
not want to work. I had to talk to my legs, y'all. I had to say, legs move. They
move.
didn't move. It was
I
really
know.
bad.
But that's so it's amazing how everybody go through a different process when it comes, to death or whatever. And I remember even when Derek, anger. Oh, so much anger. You know what I'm saying? Was inside because I was mad because you know someone and you like,
Right.
what in the world did he do to
Yeah.
deserve that type? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was
Right.
it? And I remember being so angry just about the entire process, like literally, and about just kind of how a lot of people move. I was angry about that, but I even had to go to God. I really, really, truly had to go to God and ask Him,
Mhm.
don't let any hatred settle in my heart
Right.
Mm.
towards
Absolutely.
anyone because
Absolutely.
they or people could go through what we've gone through, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people don't know what they do to a family when this
Right.
type of stuff happens. But just going through that process and trying to gather my thoughts and like, well, what was it? His final moments, like what was happening, what was going through his mind. Like you can kind of, you kind of put yourself in that situation. It becomes a mental
Right.
torment. You know what I'm saying? A
Exactly.
mental torment because it's like you want that closure, and it's
Mhm.
like I don't know if we're gonna ever get that closure to a degree. Like the answers that I really believe we deserve. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna hold you on that one. But I do remember being in his services and the young lady began to say, I am free. And
Yeah.
I felt like that broke something in me because it was almost like a sense, even though what he experienced was so wrong and so unfair, but it was like a sense of, God, I thank you because we ain't got to worry about it no more. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't like what happened. But it was like a sense of freedom for me because it was almost like, it's like I could feel like they're like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Even
Free.
though I don't like
Mhm.
it, that's kind of that's me, but that's my process. Like I don't know if I just had to get it
Right.
in my mind to be okay with what happened, but I know even in that, it was just like moments of just riding down the road and just thinking about it and like, God, like why? And just the tears. And it's not like it's over, even though it happened like almost 3 years
Mhm.
ago. It's not over. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
even
Those
over.
feelings are still there. When you have to talk about it or you see something like that on TV, you resonate with the family, you
Right.
resonate with what's happening or whatnot. And then even with, but just with anybody in our family or any loss that we've experienced, death, close ones, it's not easy. I ain't gonna say it's not easy, it's doable. I'll say that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I think the main thing is that always going back to God, always going back to that faith that
Yes.
you have and making sure
Yes.
that you push through. So let me ask
Mhm.
you guys this question. Do you think grief changed you?
Uh,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I'm gonna let you lead with that one, Charlene.
Grief has changed me. It's grown me. I've
Mhm.
evolved. I couldn't stay the same Charlene and go through that. It required me to be different in order to be able to handle it, in order to be able to help my sister, my siblings, to help my family, help you, help anybody else. I had to change. I had to be better so that I can help others. So
That's good.
yes, I've changed. I am not the same. And if I had stayed the same, I would not have been healed
Ooh.
because I had self sabotaged myself. I had put myself in this hole by not being vulnerable
Mm.
that I made myself sick. I was isolated. I
Mhm.
was almost broken. But
Mm.
when we're broken, we're the closest to God. God does his
Ooh.
best work
That's
when
it.
you're broken. And
Yeah.
so in that brokenness, I have been able to come out, emerge like the caterpillar.
Mhm.
I'm better than I was, and I'm going to be able to help somebody else because of it.
Okay, dude, I love it. That's so awesome. The caterpillar, because the caterpillar stay in the cocoon for so long, but after that,
It-
he turns
there
into
you
a
go.
butterfly.
Yep,
He
turns into
goes
a
through his
beautiful butterfly.
process,
Absolutely.
That's
a
right.
beautiful, and it's a bloody transition, but it
Yes.
turns into a beautiful butterfly. Darika, that
Yes.
question I pose that to you: do you think grief has changed you?
Yes, and each death changed me, and it taught me something as well. So, like with my grandmom death, um, every like each death taught me something. So, my grandmother death, it taught me to I felt like I had to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had to go for it. And so my grandmama death, that's what made me go to hair school, because my grandmama, I had to go do something with myself. I had to go for it. So that's when I went to hair school. Um, and that changed because I've been in it since 2004. I got my license
Hey,
in 2005, 20 years
yeah.
this year, license. But with my mama death, it taught I got the treat people how you want to be treated. It was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a change, like, cause
Yeah.
I don't remember my mama. One thing about my
She
mom, I
loved
remember
everybody.
my mama. Yeah, she loved everybody, and
Mhm.
I didn't catch my mama like not necessarily like gossiping or but she didn't do I don't remember her doing it. If she did it, she didn't do it with me. I didn't, so
The
I
character
tried,
and
and she
spirit.
just loved, like,
Hmm.
if you say something like complaining about somebody, mama be like, well, they doing the best they can, or she say something like that. I just remember that about her. So I learned to treat people how you want to be treated with my mom
That's good.
death. And then with my brother, it was what I learned was to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I spoke and I said, live in your truth. Whatever
Yes.
it
Yes,
is
she
that you
did.
are or who you want, live in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what he did.
Yes.
Yep.
Everybody know Derek, know that he wanted to
Yes.
be, he rap.
Right.
He
And
rapped.
if you didn't know that, you didn't know him, but that's what he
Right.
liked to do.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is that you do what it is you like to do and live in it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Whatever that may be, because you only get one life, so live in
You
it.
only get
Right.
one.
That's it.
And then with my sister death, it was so simple. It was something very, very simple, short and simple. It was to live.
Ooh,
I love it.
It was to live. That's all I got from her death. I got live.
that's
But it was
good.
significant what
Yep.
you got.
Yep, I got to live.
That's good. Y'all, I know y'all just heard what she said. She said one was go for it.
Yep.
The other one was be be unto others
Treat
what you
people.
want them to do unto you.
Hmm.
Do unto others as you want
Yeah,
them to do
treat
to
people how
you.
you want to be
Treat
treated.
people how thank you. Treat people how you want to be treated. The third one was live in your truth. Be you.
Yes.
And the other one was live.
Yes.
Y'all, these
I
are
love it.
so even while you were saying, all I helped with just the word evolve. Like these deaths help you guys, this loss, this grief, helped you
Yeah.
guys evolve. So we was talking
Yes.
about the butterfly, Charlene, help you guys evolve to this place where you are in your faith and in your journey, in your walk.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, and it helps you to heal, you know. And
Yes.
Yes.
I've always said healing is a journey. It's gonna
It's
always be a
process.
journey. And
Yes.
as long as you hear you got breath in your body, it's gonna
Yes.
always be a journey. But
Yes.
how you navigate through that is what matters. And I love
Right.
the fact that both of you guys have shown for such an enamorated, amount of faith, and continue to see the positive side through it all, to make the acknowledgement and the assessments of your own personal life, but not allowing these things to hold you down or to hold you
Right.
back. And I'm gonna do one more question. Well, two more. Well, one more question and then one more like a summary. So in the role of grieving, right?
Hmm.
And you guys shared just death, period. How has forgiveness how has forgiveness played in your journey?
Okay.
Anybody
I'll
can
Sister,
start
you
with
answer
that.
that first.
Forgiveness that comes from God. I judge as you want to be judged. If I can't give forgiveness, then I don't deserve forgiveness. That's again, it goes back to faith. But has it been tested and challenged? Lord God, yes, it has been tested. Now, I might have not been able to forgive instantly. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, but I have been able to forgive because God said vengeance is his. And so with vengeance being God, I'm not going to worry about it because God's going to do far better than anything I could have done. The word of God said, if you treat your enemies good, it's like dropping heaping coals on their head. So I forgive. I'm gonna leave the rest to God. That's what I'm gonna do. It's been a process,
Amen,
but I
sister.
don't have no malice in my heart for anybody that's done anything to me, to our family. I gave it to God, and that's where it's gonna stay.
That's so good. That's so good. What about you, Derica?
Although I agree with everything my sister said,
It's a
Drum
process.
roll.
and no, and I do believe in forgiveness. I do believe it because I want to be forgiven. I do.
Yes.
I'm not perfect. I am by no means perfect. I believe in forgiveness. I believe you ask for forgiveness and you be forgiven. Or you should be forgiven. I'm having a hard time forgiving some people in these situations.
I
So
understand,
I'm
sister.
working
It's
on
a
it.
process.
Right.
Well, for one of them, I don't think I ever forgave the boy that killed my mama.
Mm,
I
mm,
I remember that boy name. I know his face. I could remember his face. I see his face. I just see it, and I worked on it, but I'm just not there yet because I don't know. It's dependent upon my forgiveness. Is dependent upon it. It don't make it right, but that's just how I feel
mhm,
because the way he went about doing it and
mhm,
getting away with it and not apologizing for it and um he's able to live his life out. So I'm working on it still yet after all these years.
mhm,
God gonna work on me, but I'm
mhm,
not there yet with him. And then with the boy that killed my brother
mhm,
and the people involved in that, I'm not fully there yet. I would like to,
mhm,
but it's not holding me back. I'm not being held back by it.
mhm.
I just feel like I need to see the process out first.
Well, I do want to say this to you. Number one, I just want to say thank you just for your truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Thank you for at
Absolutely.
least being honest about where you are. So remember,
Yeah.
we talked about everybody go through their process. Everybody go
Mm-hmm.
through different things at different times. You know what I'm saying? There are some instances where I can't forgive easily. You know what I'm saying? And then there are some instances where, and I'm like you, I don't feel like I'm stuck, but I feel like I have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
not sometimes it may not necessarily that for me that I walk in unforgiveness. It's just I'm still walking through that process of what happened.
Yeah. I'm through. I'm still in the process.
Yeah, of what happened. And I think if we would learn to be more open and honest about that
Yeah.
space, then just imagine about us getting to the other side of that. If we
Yeah.
would just
Right.
learn to be more open and honest about how we feel about a situation and about a circumstance and even about where we are, our emotional. And I believe that's called emotional intelligence. It's
Yeah.
called
Yes.
self-awareness. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When we have the emotional intelligence to say, you know what, I can't deal with you. I don't even want to be in the same space with you right now. It
Right.
doesn't mean that at some point I won't be able to. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
right now, depending on the
Yeah.
level of the issue or the level of the
Mm-hmm.
disrespect or the things that you put me through,
Right.
it sometimes we just can't be in the same room. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Sometimes we not gonna be able to have that conversation because I need to work through that process, and I don't want to feel like I'm being forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, because I'm a
Right.
Christian, because you think that that's what I'm supposed to do. Once again, you know what I'm saying? Our goal is to be like Jesus on the cross. Father, forgive them because they don't even know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there is a process to this, a
It's a
process that
process.
we all have to go through.
Right.
And I do believe that, again, I believe God cares more about the truth because he knows us. more and
Absolutely.
better than anybody else,
Anybody
inside and
else?
out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, and I
Absolutely.
think when we can be truthful with the Lord, because I
Look.
know even with me, some days I said I did tell God I was mad. I'm mad at you. I don't know why you allow this to come my way. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
then it always end up being I'm mad with you, but God, you're so good. And I just thank you, Lord, because you didn't let me die. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
I'm letting you know I'm upset, but I humbly submit to whatever it is you're going through.
Yes.
So again, I
Mm-hmm.
do want to acknowledge and say thank you, Derica, for your honesty
Thank you,
and
sister.
just for your truth in where you are.
Yeah.
Because you may have to, this right here of what you just said probably is at least 75% of the population.
Yeah.
At
And
least.
to hear that it's okay that you're feeling this way, I'm acknowledging this, but I'm also in the process of doing the work. I'm not just staying there.
Absolutely.
I'm doing the work and I'm slowly walking myself through it. Because sometimes you just need to pull some stuff apart and you need
Right.
to sit in it so you can get the truth and so you can get the freedom, so when you come out of it you can look back on that thing and say I overcame it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm
Right.
saying? I
Absolutely.
truly overcame it. But yeah, so I want to leave with this, y'all. This has been a really great, oh my God. This has really been so amazing,
Yes.
so beautiful. Because I think one of the things that I want to do is with this is I'm like, let's be comfortable. We on the couch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's just talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get out, and let the world know, hey, this is what we went through, but our faith was not shaken. So if you had to summarize, if you had to tell someone or give someone some type of advice, and I'll start with you, Derica, what would you just say to someone who has gone through, is going through, and will go through what you've experienced? What would your advice be?
My advice, simple. Keep going. Keep going. Don't give up. God has not left you.
Mm,
He has not left you. He has not left you. So pray through it and keep
Yes.
going.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just keep going. On the even on the bad days, because bad days everybody have them. We have them, the bad days. Even
Mm-hmm.
when all you want to do is sit on the couch and watch TV
Mm-hmm.
and eat potato chips
Exactly.
and soda
They have ice cream.
Come on,
and
that
and
part.
whatever. Even if that's a bad day, even if that's all you want to do, I don't. Maybe you don't even want to get up out the bed,
That part.
but stay in the bed today. But
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, get up.
Right.
Yes.
Get up, get yourself together and fix yourself up and keep going.
Yes.
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 That's it.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, we thank you for that. We do appreciate that. Charlene, same thing with you. What advice would you give someone that has gone through what you've gone through?
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I had a dream. God showed me trucks, 18 wheelers. They
Wow.
drive all across the world, right? They pull up to the weigh station, they get weighed, but they're not supposed to stay. They're supposed to leave.
Ooh.
We are making temporary seasons permanent destinations,
Oh
and
my.
we're not supposed to do that. So,
Mm,
like my sister said, I'm gonna say keep pushing, keep
mm,
trusting. It's a process. You all have to work out your process. Keep going.
yeah.
You do bad today, say you're gonna do better tomorrow. Don't give up. If
Mm,
it's worth having, it's worth fighting for. That's what I say. And our
Yeah.
sanity, our peace,
mm.
our salvation, it's worth fighting for. So keep fighting. That's all I have to say about it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I salute you to literally, I
Thank
salute y'all
you. Thank
because,
you,
and I just want to
cousin.
say thank y'all for
Thank
being
you.
my special guest on
Thank
this episode of
you.
WTF What the Faith. It's been amazing. And I thank y'all because I learned some things on tonight,
Hmm.
because these are conversations we have not had. And I
Yes.
just, bits and pieces a little bit along the way, but truly getting down to the root and the core of those things. This is the first time hearing a lot of you, both of you guys, share your hearts on some things. And I do want to say Thank y'all for trusting this space to be able to be vulnerable and also to be able to share with the world your
Yeah.
process, your faith, and how you guys keep going. Y'all keep pushing through. Y'all won't allow the, grief, anything that you're going through,
No.
to hinder what God has planned for y'all. So I want to say thank you again.
Thank
Thank
Before we
you.
go,
you.
I would like for you, before we go, I would like for you, Charlene, to let everyone know what your event is that's coming up on this later this month.
Everybody, I'm having a release from grief session. It's going to be one of three. The first event will be the last Saturday of this month, which is August the 30th at 5 p.m. That's going to be at Cary Hill Resource Center on Edgefield Road in North Augusta, South Carolina. If you're needing help with the process, come out. It's a safe space. We're going to love on you. We're going to give you hope. We want to talk it out with you. This is just going to be a place, and God has to be in the midst because we're asking the Holy Spirit to be there with us. So
Awesome.
if you feel led, if something that we said today blessed your heart, then come be a part. Celebrate with us. We will laugh with you. We will cry with you. Whatever it is that you have need of that day, that is what we're going to be. Sisters and brothers in love in Christ. We're
Awesome.
going to have fellowship. After that, I will feed you. So I'm going to love on you and feed you, and then send you through your healing process safely back home.
Ooh, that's awesome,
Thank
y'all.
you, sister.
She gonna
You're
feed us,
welcome,
y'all.
sister.
She said she gonna feed y'all. So this event, Charlene, is not just for women, but it's for
It's
anyone.
for men as well.
Men as
Yes.
well. Okay.
Anyone
Anyone.
feel drawn to come and share and be a part and have, it's going to just be fellow people. We all have dealt with grief. Everyone that we
Hmm.
know have dealt with
Hmm.
it. So if you need some help with it, then come out and share with us.
Wow. This is so amazing. And how can they find out information, Charlene? What's your Facebook page?
My Facebook is Charlene Coleman. My telephone number is 803-293-0799. Please reach out to me. We would love to have you.
And what's your email address in case someone wants to email you?
It's Lee Charlene V at AOL.com. So LeeCharlene V at AOL.com.
Awesome. You went out. Is say it again. Your email it went out because I don't think it got that last little part. Say it one more time.
Okay. So Charlene CharleneV at AOL.com.
Awesome. Awesome. So you
Okay.
guys know how to get in contact with her. She has left her Facebook page. You guys can message her. She left her phone number. You guys can call or message her as well. And you have her email. So it would be no reason why you guys, if you're going through this process, that you don't jump in on the opportunity to go through your grieving and to also heal all at the same time. And what's more important than being in a community of people who have gone through it or who've experienced that,
Right.
but you can
Yes.
be safe in knowing that they have your back. All right.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Derica, tell us
Yes.
about your business, because even with
Yeah.
grief, y'all, we gotta look good. We
Gotta
gotta
We
look
look
got to look
good.
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 So come see me. I am at 2704 Emmanuel Church Road in West Columbia, South Carolina. I do braids. I specialize in braids, but I do other things, crochet, silk presses, and things like that. So my Facebook is Derica Coleman. My Instagram is Designs by Derica. Um, my telephone number is 803-200-2486. What else I need to leave?
What's your website?
Email.
My website is designsbyderica.as.me.
Okay.
You can book your appointments there.
All right, y'all. She's really good at
Awesome.
what she do. She do the
Yes, she
lemonade
is.
braids. She do the boho braids. She do the. Do you do stitch braids?
Stitch braids, tribal braids, Fulani braids,
Yes.
knotless. Yes, book me.
Okay, awesome. And
Awesome.
Charlene is also a licensed insurance agent as
Yes.
well. We don't talk about that too, but we've experienced where family members didn't have any life insurance at all,
Yes,
and it kind
we
of put a
did.
burden on the family. So we also want to make sure that you guys have the information as well for those that may be looking for policies for their family members or for yourself, that you guys can
Right.
also reach out to her as well. Well, again, ladies, I want to say thank y'all so much.
Thank
I really
you.
do appreciate you all for joining me on tonight. Thank you to our audience for joining us on tonight on this episode of WTF. What the process between faith and grief is a
Yes,
beautiful journey. Don't ever think your
yes.
journey isn't beautiful. And before we go, I would like to leave the scripture with you. And it's Psalms 34:18. It says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." So even while you're going through your process, even while you're going through what you're going through, always remember that God is with you. Don't
Yes.
ever forget that God is with you. All right, y'all. So
Oh,
that wraps it up. Thank
okay.
you again to my hosts, right? My other co-hosts, right? Charlene Coleman and Derica
Yes.
Coleman. I just want to say thank you again for joining me. Guys, don't forget to go like, share, and subscribe to Imagine Me TV on YouTube at Just Saying 330, and
Thank
also
you.
follow me on Spotify, right? It's Imagine Me TV podcast on Spotify. Yeah, and the other one I can never remember the name of that one, but anyway, we'll get that one to you as well. We want you guys to engage in this broadcast when it airs. We just want you guys to engage, leave comments, reach out to us. We are super duper excited about what
Yes.
the impact that this is going to have. So once again, y'all, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'm your host, Just Saying. Thank you for joining me. And remember, this is a platform where your voice matters. We will see you soon. Peace.